field, catches it for a touchdown.
Would you look at that? Evergreen. Would you look at that?
Ooh, with the big three. Great. Takes it all the way now. Nice. That's a good way to start Heritage with some real good field position. The ball carrier on that play, number 32. That is going to be 34. I'm sorry. That is going to be James Bailey. Gets that ball up to it. Looks like about the 34-yard line. Heritage is going to be 1st and 10. And here we go. Breaks the huddle. Quarterback actually out there. Looks like we're not going to have Nicky Scott. And Isaac Washington, the quarterback. Hands that ball off. Run to the far side. He's going to break that to the open. Breaks through a couple of tackles. A nice little 10-yard run. He's going to get taken down right there at about the 43-yard line. Got in behind those blockers real well on that one, Ryan.
Yeah, he really did. He was patient. He allowed the blockers to get in front of him. He was able to break around to the outside for a good gain.
Officials getting this chain set up. 11:02 left to play. First series for Heritage. We've got a substitution. Caleb Lemire checks in the game. Keaton Bolds now comes out. Okay, hey, we want to welcome you guys here. This is EPS Sports. Rodney Lawrence, Ryan Vastbinder here. We want to welcome the Comcast crew here on Channel 3029. Oh, we got a fumble there. And the ball is going to be picked up. We're here on Channel 28 Comcast, Channel 328 for the HD. Nice little run back pick up there off that fumble. Tried to get him a scoop and score there. We're going to give that pickup. That is Jalen Fife for the Evergreen Plainsman. Recovers that fumble and runs that back down inside Heritage territory. So the first turnover. Big running play, but the ball gets turned over, and it's Evergreen's ball.
Yeah, it is. And Heritage is going to have to make sure that they could protect the football in this game. Missing Nicky Scott, their offense is going to look a little bit different tonight.
Yeah, it sure is. Hey, we want to welcome everybody here from Comcast, Channel 28, Channel 328. Also, the YouTube channel as well. You can go to the Evergreen School District YouTube channel for the folks who are out of the area and aren't able to see the game on local television. Evergreen now gets on the field. Quarterback for them, J.J. Wooden, transfer from the Portland area. Drops back. He's going to let that one go right in the middle of the field. Great catch right there at the 1-yard line. At the 31-yard line. That is going to be Tajon Condi. Picks that catch up. Gets a couple of yards out of it. It is going to move the chains.
Yeah, we were able to watch J.J. Wooden last week, and he's so impressive. He's got such a great football mind and able to make great decisions, and he's got the right size to be a high-level quarterback as well.
Good deal. We're going to have a rollout. He's going to take this one himself. Cuts that back up the field. Gets down across the 25-yard line before he stopped. Evergreen running, traditional spread offense. 3 men. 3 wide receivers down on the wide side of the field on that last play. We've got Condon Simmons. And also Landry out there, the 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. Fakes it to Jackson, gets it right back out there to Jalen Fife. Makes the catch, is going to get a couple before he's stopped. Caleb Lemire, the corner out there on that far side, making the stop, saves that first down. We're going to come up with 3rd down. And it looks like a short 3. So the quarterback's going to take that one underneath. He might get just enough to move the chains. We'll see where they're going to spot the ball. And it does look like he got enough as the chains are moving. 9:25 left to play in this first quarter. This is the first possession for the Evergreen Plainsmen. For the ones who weren't able to see it up front, Heritage started out with the ball, turned the ball over, and they were able to get this ball back in there. And then when you guys came in from Comcast, this is where we started out. Got a man in motion. Jackson gets the ball straight up the middle. He's going to get a nice little run out of that. They're going to pull him down right about the 11-yard line. Little misdirection there. Condi goes into motion. They're going to hand that off to Jackson O'Shea, number 6, lone running back. Evergreen is going to get penalized for movement, so there's pretty much going to negate that entire run by Jackson. They'll back him up 5, and they'll play that down again.
Yeah, it looks like Jalen Fight just got a little excited there. Started his movement a little early.
Referee winds the clock, 8:41 left to play. Three receiver set. Another handoff to O'Shea. He's going to step back in the middle on that one. Not going to get quite back to the original line of scrimmage, but he's going to get a couple out of that, and we'll bring up 3rd down. Call it 3rd down, about 6 yards to go for the first. They do need to get inside the 10 to get the first down. And we got another penalty here before the play started. And that's going to be motion on Evergreen again, so they are going to get backed up another 5. And that's going to bring them back to the original line of scrimmage. Bunch set up there up top. Quarterback drops back, decides he's going to take this one himself. He's going to scramble, and he is going to get ran out of bounds right there at the 10-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down and about 2. So we'll see what the Evergreen coaching staff decides they want to do on this play. Referees tried to make sure everything is handled the way it's supposed to be. Now Evergreen is going to take a timeout and kind of talk about this. This is it's early in the game. They've had some penalty problems. They've been moving the ball pretty decently. What do you think?
Yeah, it's very similar to what we saw last week, Rodney. They had some penalty problems early on last week. Once they were able to get comfortable and get going, those really subsided. I think they're really having a discussion to see whether or not they're going to go for it. Del Angel last week, he made one. He was about 50% from this range last week. So,
okay.
Probably seeing how he's feeling, see if they can get some points up on the board. There's a lot of similarities between this week and last week. I mean, last week they were able to benefit off an early turnover by Prairie, and this week it's early turnover by Heritage. So, it'll be important for them to really try to get some points on the board.
Yeah. Well, it does look like they are going to go for it. The offense is now back there on the field. 3 receiver set on the far side of the ball. Jackson here set up on the far side. Quarterback decides to keep this one himself. He is not going to get the first down, and Heritage is going to get the ball on downs going back the other direction. So the Heritage offense made a mistake early, and the defense made sure that they weren't going to pay for it. So good job for Heritage defense on that stop. Interesting play for them to decide to run, especially since you saw them, you saw Wooden get underneath the center the last time they needed about 2 yards and just kind of push that forward and to be where they are and have the quarterback that far off the ball, and he ultimately ended up having to take it. There was a route he was looking for, it looks like, on that inside receiver that just didn't show up for him.
Yeah, it didn't show up. He ran into a little bit of traffic. He had great effort trying to stretch it out and still hold on to the football, but he wasn't able to get to the first down marker.
All right. Heritage, two running backs in the backfield. Going to hand this one off right up the middle. Nice, strong, powerful run. He is going to get out to the 15-yard line. That is going to be Brody Parker, the ball carrier on that play. Reynolds just checks into the game. Single receiver this time, and it looks like we have two wings. Lemire motions back into the backfield. This is going to be a handoff to Lemire. He is not going to go anywhere. He's going to run into a defensive lineman there. Gary McCulley, number 54, steps right up in there. Linebacker makes that stop. Good play on his part, just steps right up in there in the gap and right there to make the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 for Heritage. Lone running back is going to hand that off. Evergreen all over the top of that. They are not going to be able to get anything out of that. Looks like they may have got a yard, so that'll bring up 4th down and 3, and here comes the Heritage punt team. Defenses on both sides playing a pretty good first quarter here.
Yeah, it certainly does appear that way. That stop was number 44, David Kalea.
Bradley Culp, the kicker. Punter, oh, not a very good punt as that goes straight up in the air. It's going to get a little roll to his advantage, but that is going to get down on the Heritage side of the field. Evergreen's going to take the ball over on its own on the Heritage 37-yard line. So Evergreen again is going to get some pretty good field position on their second possession of the game. We'll see how the offense is able to handle this one.
Yeah, hopefully they're able to settle down a little bit, and not be so anxious at the line. They had some penalties in that last drive that really hurt them and set them back.
They did. 2 penalties right there, 10 yards taken away from them. That ultimately made the difference in being able to get to that first down when they came up about a yard short. Evergreen takes the field, lined up on the near hash to Heritage side of the field. 3 receivers on the far side, and the referees and Heritage is going to take a timeout. They want to talk about it. Make sure they have the right personnel in there. Fife was the guy on the outside, and if I remember him from last year, he can streak up the field. And
he certainly
the quarterback
can.
That they seem to, I haven't seen a whole lot about J.J. Wooden, but what I heard about what he did across the river last year, and ultimately what you had to say about him when we were talking before the show started, that might have been a dangerous predicament for the Heritage Timberwolves.
Yeah, and Fight had a couple really big plays last week too. He really opened up the defense of Prairie and had 2 or 3 really big plays that were over 20 yards.
Mm-hmm. Deal. So now, as you guys can see, who's watching, we are under the pandemic rules here. No fans in the stands, and there's only a certain amount of people they let into the stadium at all. We are included. Me and Ryan and the people out in the truck and our camera folks are included in the count that is allowed in the stadium during a game. So at this point, it's just the players and the necessary personnel to pull the game off. So we're glad that there's an opportunity for you guys to watch us either on the internet or there on one of the local networks. So appreciate you guys having an opportunity to enjoy some Clark County football with us. Here late in the year, very late in the year. Typical, this is basketball season.
Basketball season.
And we're playing football here. All right, so we got a handoff right up the middle. O'Shea is going to get about a yard past the line of scrimmage before he's wrapped up there by the big line, defensive lineman number 88. That's Jack Warren for Heritage. He'll get a yard out of that, and he'll bring up second down. John Simon is the lone receiver down here at the bottom on the numbers. Wooden drops back. Oh, trying to get him on that bench route. He's not able to bring that one in before he gets out of bounds, and that'll bring up third down and 9.
Evergreen really likes to run those little bench routes to the touchline, so expect to see more of that as this game progresses.
It's a nice route to run. The timing has got to be there, to get there right, to get the ball right as he's getting ready to go out of bounds. The ball needs to be let go out of the break, really and truly. Going to send the man in motion. Looks like that. And now he just decides he's going to throw that ball away. I'm not sure if there was a breakdown in the route running, but he threw that like he was expecting somebody to be in the flat. Fife was running a streak route.
Well, I almost think it almost looked like there might have been a breakdown in the count. I don't think Wooden was expecting that ball to come to him when it did, and he tried to find an option, decided just to go ahead and throw it away.
Yeah, he sure did. Well, with that is going to bring up a fourth down and 9, so they are going to bring out the punt team. No rush at all by Heritage as he kind of coffin corners that one and is almost able to get that ball before it rolls into the end zone, but now it is considered a touchback, and Heritage is going to take the ball over on their 20. So I don't know if that was so much the Heritage defense or if it was the Evergreen's offense on that particular series. Not a very good series for the Evergreen offense on that one.
No, it wasn't.
Heritage now on the 20-yard line, first down and 10.
Yeah, I mean, the Heritage defense there, they did come up with a good stop on first and 10. And so they've been playing well so far.
Yeah, they have. They're going to break the huddle in the pistol formation. 2 wingbacks. Going to send the man in motion, hand it off to the back guy. I do believe that is Cowley, number 42. It is. Big, strong running back, but Evergreen's front 4 right there to make the stop at the line of scrimmage. Does look like he will get about a yard out of that. Evergreen, some nice-sized linemen down there. A couple of them over 3. 2 men in the backfield this time. Power to the far side of the field. Another handoff to Crowley. He's going to try to find a hole in the middle and step into it. And he'll get about another yard, maybe a yard and a half out of that one. Bring up third down. Got somebody getting up slow. I don't know if this is cramps. It is that time of the year, early in the season, where that type of stuff happens for you.
Looks like that's number 75, Tate Steinbach.
Yeah, it is.
It's slow to get up.
Big sophomore down there. I'm so glad to see that these kids are getting the opportunity to play some football. I mean, 2020 kind of made it tough and had everybody unclear and uncertain if these guys were going to be able to have an opportunity to play, and especially for the seniors who this is their, some of them, there are some kids out there who who are going to have the opportunity to play at the next level, but for a lot of them, this is it. So,
Yeah, it's nice to be able to see him come out and play even in a shortened season.
Yeah.
Even without a state championship on the line, but just for them to come out and compete their senior year and experience that is very exciting to see.
Yeah, it sure is. Like Heritage is breaking the huddle rather slow. Everybody's trying to figure out what's going on here. And it looks like the Heritage coach realizes that they were struggling on the play, so he's going to call another timeout now. And that's the second timeout for the half for Heritage, leaving them with one timeout left. We did kind of talk about the fact that Nicky Scott's normally their starting quarterback. Do believe he's hurt. Don't have all the particulars on what's going on with him, so we're not going to speculate. We just do know that he is not on the field playing tonight. Isaac Johnson, number 23, has stepped in and taken over that role, at least for this game.
Yeah, and that's always going to lead to a little bit of confusion when you have somebody new running your offense that doesn't typically run that offense.
Yeah.
Right? Isaac Washington's very, very familiar with the offense. He knows the plays and he knows what to do, but at the same time, when you're the one that's calling the shots and running them, it always leads to a little bit of confusion.
Yeah, it sure does. It sure does. So the team's back on the field here. Ready to go. Hopefully everybody's mind's clear on the play that they're going to run next. They do seem to break the huddle this time with a little more confidence. Cowley is the lone running back. Going to send a man in motion. And Washington is going to keep it. Misdirection does not fool anybody on the Evergreen side of the football as they get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up fourth down in a punting situation for the Heritage Timberwolves.
Yeah, that was a good defensive series for Evergreen.
Culp, the punter, and he is going to be standing on the 10-yard line, waiting to receive Evergreen's Condi, and he is sitting. That ball is still not a very good punt, but it does take a Heritage roll. Evergreen once again is going to get the ball in decent field position as they get the ball on the 47-yard line of the Heritage Timberwolves.
Yeah, that just equated to a bad snap. The ball hit the ground. I think Colt didn't realize it, but he had a little bit more time just to get set and get that ball off to get a better kickoff.
Doesn't seem to be a big rush on from either side on the punter right now. It's kind of early in the season. Special teams is probably not something that everybody has worked on a lot. So, especially with the number of practices they have had up to these starting games, the beginning of this season for them. Evergreen on the field on the 47-yard line. Wooden takes the snap, drops back, has Fife out there in the flat. Fife makes the catch and is going to get run out at about the 39-yard line. Nice 9-yard play there for the Plainsmen. Probably the best offensive play we've seen from them this game so far. Nice timing route, 3-step drop. Once again, Fife out there in the corner. Fife is able to get away from that first tackler, get enough for the first down before he's run out of bounds at about the 34. So Fife has 2 catches back-to-back and is able to move the chains. We're down to just under a minute and a half left to play in the first quarter of this game. Score still 0-0. This time O'Shea's going to bounce this to the outside. He is going to find the corner before he is met right at the 30-yard line. Nice little step up and tackle there by Aiden Miller, a sophomore for Heritage. That ball could have, O'Shea could have got a lot more yardage if it hadn't been for the aggressiveness of that. That's their was playing safety for him. Came up and made that pop really good there.
Yeah, he was quick to close it down and able to limit the damage of that run because it could have turned into something big for Evergreen.
Yeah, O'Shea able to get 5 yards out of that, so we'll bring up second down. O'Shea gets it again, nice little back cut, and he is going to drive and get down across the 20-yard line. That will be enough to move the chains. Nice 10-yard run there by O'Shea Jackson. Or Jackson O'Shea, right? Yep, Jackson O'Shea. I have to write that down the right way because the roster has it, O'Shea Jackson. I'll blame it on the roster. All right, good first series here for the Plainsmen as they've able to move the ball 2 separate occasions to get first downs. This time Wooden looking for somewhere to go, and Heritage is going to be all over them. Jack Warren, D-end, comes across there untouched and is able to make that stop. Lose about 4 yards on that. We have got an injured Timberwolf down on the field. Not able to see his number. As soon as we find out who it is, we'll let you guys know. Hopefully he's going to be okay. It looks like they are working on his knee, or looking at his knee, make sure everything's safe there. Good movement on this series for Evergreen. They've been able to put together some pretty good plays. 2 good passes out to Fife, and then 2 good runs by O'Shea.
Yeah, and it's very similar to the offensive strategy that Evergreen showed last week as well. You know, they're able to utilize both the pass and the run to develop their offense.
Not too bad. Hopefully he's going to be able to walk off on his own. That's the quarterback. That's Isaac Johnson or Washington. So let's hope he'll be okay for the next offensive series. But as always in high school football, if you're an athlete, you're going to play both sides of the ball. And he's playing linebacker on the defense and the quarterback on offense. It's going to be a busy man today. Hopefully he's going to be okay and he can walk that off and get back into the game.
Yeah, it's always good to be able to see kids walk off on their own power.
Yep. And it doesn't look like we are going to make it. And as we run out of time here in the first quarter, as they get this all set up, we want to welcome everybody. This is EPS Sports. I'm Rodney Lawrence. Ryan Vastbinder here with me. You're watching the Evergreen Plainsmen and the Heritage Timberwolves. We've got a 0-0 game right now. And going into the second quarter here, both teams still looking like it's early in the season. We'll see who settles down first and is able to put some points on the board.
Yeah, we certainly will. You know, as Isaac Washington was walking off the sideline, I saw him go ahead and pass the play armband off to sophomore Khalil Osman. So we'll see if I see him, he's throwing the football around a little bit down there on the sideline. So we'll see if he comes in and makes an appearance at quarterback on their next offensive possession.
Good deal, good catch. Remember, they will start this ball off of the second quarter here, off of ending the first quarter on a good defensive play there by Heritage. Jack Warren able to make and a couple of his friends able to make that sack there, taking Wooden down about 5 yards deep. It'll bring up second down and 15 as we get ready to start the second quarter here. Both programs brought their cheerleaders to the game, so that's also good to see, allowing every facet of the game to stay as normal as we possibly can. And, the cheerleaders wanting, it's their time too, just like we talked about the senior football players. Same with the cheerleaders, an opportunity to do what they love too in their senior year. So glad they're able to get out here and participate as well. We got twin formation. We're going to send the guy in motion. Another drop back. Wooden running on backpedaling for his life there as he lets that ball go out of bounds. No flags on the play for intentional grounding, so he is able to get that ball away. He did have a receiver in the general vicinity. Skylar Hayes, 6'3" freshman, was out there on the edge. Roll out this time. It looks like Wooden's going to try to take this with himself, and he is not going to have anywhere to go as the Heritage Timberwolves defense, 2 plays in a row, are able to catch him in the backfield. Tell you what, Jack Warren is having a heck of a defensive night.
He certainly is, you know, and the Evergreen offensive line is really struggling right now. They're letting guys through, and it's not giving J.J. Wooden time to allow plays to develop and really showcase what his skill set is. You know, making good, strong throws or keeping the option and making a good decision because the time just isn't there.
Right. Yeah, he's not able to look upfield. Obviously in 4-down territory, it's 4th down and 15. They need to get to the 10-yard line to get a first down. Drops back. Lets this one, and it is almost intercepted. Intended receiver on that one is Tehan Kondi. Him unable to bring that in, but it does look like that there was a deflection out there. Number 28, Wyatt Scott, playing linebacker, dragging across the field, playing his spot, able to get his hands up in front of that one. Okay, Osmond is in the game. He's going to hand that ball off right up the middle. Going to pick up about 4 yards, but we got a flag. There's a quick flag, too, so we'll see what the call ultimately ends up being here.
Well, there was a flag that was thrown quickly in the backfield, and then another one came in a little bit later where the tackle was made, so we'll see.
They're going to back him up 5 yards. And they're going to run that one again. So dead ball infraction. They're going to, looks like they are going to redo first down, and it'll be first down and 15. Okay, so strong side to the right. 2 running backs, fullback, running back, set up, situation. He's going to drop back. Receiver just kind of leaks up the field. Not really a strong route ran there. Looks like it was some kind of a play action. Parker and Cowley now both check back into the game. Along with Reynolds. Two wings. Now they're trying to get it set up here. And we're going to have a flag there as Reynolds has a tough time holding his water and does moves out there, and that's going to back him up another 5, and it's going to bring up now 2nd and 20. Sometimes that happens when you get a brand new quarterback out there, you know, and nobody's used to his cadence.
Right.
You know. They don't have the shot clocks out here this year, or I should say this game. Shot clocks, I'm talking about basketball. The field clocks here. that they normally have, so the teams can kind of see how many seconds are left, other than watching the back official raise his hand when it gets down to the 5 seconds left. Come out here with a wing to the left. Play action drops off. And there is, that is going to be a pass interference. He did not go for the ball. He just tried to step through it.
He did. He tried to play it off extremely well.
Yeah,
but,
he did.
He did go ahead and get caught. That certainly is pass interference.
Intended receiver was Bowles on that. It looks like he was just running a little out route, delayed out route on a rollout with a little play action involved in that to kind of freeze the linebackers for a minute. So that play definitely saved Heritage, a team that was at potentially second and 20. They're now going to get 15 yards out of the play and bring up a doable second down situation.
Yeah, after 3 ran plays and no first downs, we're sitting 2nd and 5.
Evergreen's defensive coach needs to be a little bit frustrated, I'm sure, on that, because that gives them a much better opportunity. And they're able to deal with the misdirection. Makes the first guy miss, and he is going to bounce through a lot of people, spin out, and get himself out across the 40-yard line before he is brought down. And see, and that's what happens. You go from 2nd and 20 to a big penalty to a big play, and now you're on the 42-yard line with some momentum.
Yeah, and that was extremely impressive by Caden Bowles with that run. I mean, he bounced off several defenders, and ultimately what brought him down is he bounced off his own lineman.
Yeah.
Coming through that hole, and that was a great run by Mr. Bowles.
Sure was. Well, with the chains moved, they're going to set up there at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10. Heritage, 2 running back set. Another handoff again. Looking for some yards up the middle. Looks like they are going to get to the 45-yard line before they're brought down. That'll bring up 2nd down. Bradley Culp checks into the game. This time 2 wings, single running back. Gonna give it to the fly sweep. And that is going to be Brody Parker. Gonna get about a yard. Evergreen outside backer able to contain. Make that tackle, actually only after a yard gain, so it'll bring up 3rd down and 6. $7:55 left to play in the half. We still have a 0-0 ball game. Game's essentially been played right in the middle of the field. Power receiver, running backs to the far side of the field. Brody in motion. We're going to give that to Cowley, who breaks into the open, tries to break a couple of tackles, and he is going to get taken down right at about the 35-yard line. Great run by Mr. Cowley. And that penalty, the pass interference. That's what did it. Gave him some momentum.
It did. Momentum's, momentum's huge in this game and in any sport. But when you have a play like that can push you, forward 15, you get a couple big plays. If you're Heritage, you're feeling really good about your offensive chances.
Another handoff this time. Cuts that back up to the top. He's going to find some space. He's going to get taken down right at the 20-yard line. And that is a great run by Keaton Bowles. was able to break a tackle in the backfield and then kind of plant that foot and get upfield.
And then he outran his blockers.
Yeah, he sure did. Chains now set up 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Most impressive drive for the Heritage Timberwolves to note so far in the game.
For either team.
Yeah, that is true. Cowley once again in the backfield. He's got 2 wings. Movement there by the guard. Kind of tough for him to jump off sides. You're right beside the football.
Yep.
Trying to get to that block. Must have known he had a tough block he had to get to. He's going to get there a little early. That'll back him up 5, 2nd and 15.
You know, but it comes back. I mean, this is the 3rd quarterback that Heritage is utilizing in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, and it comes back to knowing your quarterback's cadence and just getting into that rhythm, and that's what Heritage is struggling with right now.
All right, here we go. Osmond's got him to the line of scrimmage. Cowley in the backfield. This direction, Cowley right up the gut. He is going to power himself, just will himself down to the 21 before he is stopped. It's going to bring up 2nd and 11. No, actually 2nd and 12. I was a little generous, a little more generous than the officials were on that. They have him set up at the 22-yard line, 2nd and 12.
You're a generous guy.
Yeah, I am. I try to be. Heritage needs to get on the other side of the 10 to get the first down. Slot back by Brody here on the short side of the field. Brody's going to go in motion. Quarterback drops back, looking for his man in the end zone. Goes up and brings that down. Almost able to bring that down. Skylar Hayes there to disrupt that touchdown. Intended receiver on that play. That was Alex Anderson. He tried to go up and get that at his highest point. Hayes was there as he was coming down and able to just strip that ball away from him.
It was, and when that ball was released, it looks like Alex Anderson had some space. The ball was just a little underthrown. He had to come back for it just a bit, and it allowed that defender to break it up.
It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 11. 2 receivers in the backfield. Bowles back there with him. Bowles trying to get out there, and he is going to get clipped by Hayes and pushed out of bounds at, it looks like the 16-yard line. Neither team opting to use the kicking game in the 4th down situation, and they're going to go for it. Coach Dennis Moody down there discussing the situation with his folks, deciding on what play is suited for a 4th and 6. And they're going to call a timeout. This is going to be their final timeout of the half. As Coach Moody, I'm sure, definitely trying to take advantage of this situation and get some points on the board this time and not giving it up on downs. Both these teams seem to be settling down just a little bit. The big play, both defenses have pretty much played a bend don't break type mentality here. I mean, each team has given up some good plays and allowed the defense to look like they may have gotten themselves on a roll, only for both teams to just kind of bog down once they got into the red zone.
Yeah, they certainly have. It's been a good defensive game for both teams so far, just like you said. For Heritage, this is a big 4th down, and they don't even have to get 6 here, but they certainly want to go ahead and get that first down.
Yeah,
to
sure
keep
do.
this drive going. They haven't been real successful throwing the ball, so I almost wonder if they continue to stick with Caden Bolds here on the ground, maybe some sort of sweep maybe to the far side of the field, give him a little bit of space or room. Hopefully he can get to the outside.
Yeah, well, we'll see here. Culp lines up on the far side out there on the numbers, and they've got 3 receivers with Bowles and Parker. Cowley, the lone running back. Quarterback drops back. Screen play right there as they make the stop. And he is not going to get the first down as they actually put him on the carpet on the 14-yard line. Noah Rossmel, is that, I say that correctly? He was right there to make that stop. Senior outside linebacker. And we have got another Heritage player down on the field. Let's hope they're going to be okay. But that is a great defensive stop there by the Evergreen Plainsman's defense. And that's you hate to see that. That's their power back right there. Cowley. Andre Cowley. You hate to see him going out of the game limping like that. Hopefully he is going to be okay and something that he can just walk off and get back into the game. We are going to definitely miss him for a couple of series defensively, so we'll just kind of see what's going on here because he is one of their starting backers.
And he's had a good game so far.
Yeah, he has.
And it's.
He had a real good run in that series. They kind of set him up down there inside the 20. They just kind of, once again, they bogged down once they got in there, gave the ball up on downs. And Evergreen's back on the field, first down and 10 from the 14. 4:21 left to play in the game. Neither team able to put points on the board. And they are going to have looks like they are going to have a illegal procedure. So when the guy went in motion, somebody still wasn't set. That was Fife who went into motion. It looks like it was going to be a fly sweep to Fife around the far side of the field there. It's going to back him up. And, and these kind of penalties just kind of let you know that, it's early. It's early in the season. These are the types of things that happen when you don't have a whole lot of practices under your belt, and it's just early. A handoff now to O'Shea. He's going to run up the back of one of his own receivers trying to block for him. He does spin his way across the 15-yard line, though, and looks like he's going to make it to about the 17. But there is a penalty flag, so we'll see what's going on. And we got a holding call on one of the Evergreen Plainsmen. So that play will be backed up 10 yards.
And speaking to the fact that it is still early in the season and it's a big cause for these illegal procedure penalties, false starts, that type of thing. I mean, the problem with that is that everything's heightened so much in the shortened season this year.
Yeah.
And you don't have the time to work those kinks out, and these types of penalties can really hurt you and where you end up at the end of the season with these first 2 games.
Sure will. Quarterback with his heels on the goal line. Nice little slant route to Fife. Fife breaks the first tackle. Now he's going to find some open field. And there he is. He's going to get out across the 40, and he'll get run out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Nice little run there, catch and run by Jalen Fife, the senior for Evergreen Plainsman. You've been watching this young man for quite some time. I believe he is a 3-year starter, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I believe so, Rodney.
First big play we've seen from J.J. Wood in this game. Fife on a slant route. Able to catch that and make something happen. 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. Going to hand it off. Jackson is going to get across the line of scrimmage. pulled down at the 49-yard line. Ball be set at the 48. And it looks like that'll be 2nd and 7. Evergreen lines back up. 3 receivers here at the bottom of your screen. Wooden drops back. Jackson in the flats. Jackson catches that ball, gets across midfield before he's taken down. Jackson O'Shea there getting some coaching from the sidelines about how to get some extra yards out of that one. But a good catch on the flare route. This time the quarterback fakes it, takes it himself. He's going to lower his shoulder, and he is going to get enough to move the chains. Nice, strong run by the quarterback there. Alex Anderson, corners, comes up to make that stop. There we go. Ball set down on the 39-yard line. I'm sorry, the 41-yard line. And that is going to move the chains. All right, second quarter here. J.J. Wooden, big pass, big run. Both able to move the chains. Stack formation down here at the bottom. Quarterback's rolling, looking for Fife downfield. Not able to get that one to him. First time we got to see what kind of strength J.J. Wooden has with his arm, rolling and able to get that ball 40 yards down the field.
Yeah, he certainly has the arm strength to get it there, you know, and he's been able to connect with Fight on a few of those runs. He did last week, I should say, you know, and that's where their big plays came from. And so, you know, it's good to see that. Good to see Evergreen's offensive line stepping up and giving them a little bit of protection and time to make those plays.
All right, Evergreen lined up on the ball. Jackson once again decides to cut that one back in towards the middle of the field and is going to get wrapped up just across the 40-yard line. Looked like there might have been a little daylight if he would have stepped to the outside. He comes back inside and is tackled by one of the linebackers. And as I look out on the field, it does look like Andre Crowley is back out there, so that's good to see. Wooden drops back, which is to the side. Still, he decides to take this one himself, and he's going to get it out of bounds. But he does not get the first down. So he is going to come up a little short on that, and it's going to bring up a 4th down and a 1. And we're going to see here what's going on. Heritage has a little change in personnel. Dustin Garrett, number 71, big sophomore. Little help there on the front line as he comes into the game. We got 4th and a little. Wooden's going to take the ball, pitches it out to O'Shea, and the ball's going to get fumbled and mishandled. And Evergreen is going to turn the ball over on down. So once again, the entire football game being played in the middle of the field, and as either team gets down there within 30 yards, then the defenses seem to just stiffen up and not allow things to happen. So we're down to 55 seconds left to play in this first half. Neither team offensively has been able to complete a series here that gets points on the board.
No, it's been a good defensive game. Something that was encouraging out of that last play. I did see Isaac Washington back out there in his defensive position, so
yeah.
it was at least good to see him out there playing.
Good deal. Heritage once again. See if they are going to look to see here.
Like he slipped there a little bit, Rodney.
He sure did. Bulge looking to cut that ball upfield. And Simon, I'm sorry, it's right there waiting on him. Heritage breaks the huddle. 15 seconds left to play. Looks like they'll just be content to just kind of run it out here. No big plays. Fly sweep. Cuts that up, and that will be the last play of the first half. As we end the first two quarters of play here with Heritage and Evergreen with a 0-0 score. This is EPS Sports. I'm Rodney Lawrence, Ryan Vastbinder. Glad you guys were able to tune in with us. We are going to step aside and we'll be right back for the third quarter. You guys take care.
Hello and welcome to the CPS Inspires Update. I'm Craig Bernbeck. And while we're excited to be welcoming more and more students back into our buildings, there are some systems that have been developed during the pandemic that can benefit students in every learning scenario. That's definitely the case with the awesome targeted tutoring program where Union High School students are helping middle and elementary school kids stay on track.
But now we're going to break it down even more.
That's Union High School senior Astoria Moore helping out a group of Burnt Bridge Creek students.
What's 500 minus 20?
Actually, she's more than just helping out. She's tutoring them in math.
So I just want them to be the most comfortable with math that they possibly can be.
This is all part of a targeted tutoring program that pairs top Union High School students with elementary and middle school students for online sessions.
What we're doing is we're writing down 494.
There's about 20 really committed tutors right now.
The idea started with Kelsey Burris, Union High School's STEM Academy advisor.
So here you go. We were able to start actually at Frontier Middle School with this focused tutoring program where we work with the teachers to identify students that need help, and then they help provide our high school students with activities.
Osvaldo, who is your math teacher this year?
Burris and other staff members are there to advise and monitor the actual tutoring sessions, but it's the high school students who are really managing the program.
So now where are we going to put the 10 to add it correctly? I guess it's really nice when, you get the actual response from the kids and it seems like they're actually learning something.
And this program is a win-win as the younger students and older students are both benefiting.
Wow, thank you for helping me even though I was behind.
They're learning. Yes, their assignments have really changed. They get a lot more things correct because they have the tutor that's helping them.
I guess it's been an opportunity to improve my communication just in general.
What is 4 times 3? Do you guys know?
But this isn't just about the lesson plans. This is about life lessons, mentoring, and just connecting.
The kids are definitely asking more questions than they would in a class with a teacher because they're less shy of these high schoolers. They think of them as their sibling, as mentors.
Oh, I had the biggest smile on my face. It's such a big compliment for people to be like, oh, I can relate to you, or that helped me out so much.
Now, while this program was born during the pandemic, the hope is that it will continue to grow even when we get back to what we consider more normal school.
Just yesterday, we opened it up to even the dual immersion program because we got a Spanish tutor. So every week, we just keep growing and growing.
Good job, guys. I think making an impact on people is the best possible legacy you could ever leave.
And we'll see you next week, hopefully. It's great to see all of you.
District administrators are working with school staff and the Union High School students to grow this program even more, and the hope is it will continue for years to come. For Evergreen Public Schools, I'm Craig Bernbach.
As the COVID-19 vaccines become available, you might be asking yourself, should I get it? And if I do, will I be able to go about life without putting my family at risk? You've got questions, and that's normal. The fact is, the vaccines are safe and effective. They're going to save lives. To get the latest on the COVID-19 vaccines, visit getvaccineanswers.org, because getting back to the moments we miss starts with getting informed. It's up to you.
If you love concerts and live theater, going to baseball games, and eating in restaurants, inside, if you love parties and the small talk with the guy who makes you iced coffee the right way, then wear a mask and let's beat this virus so we can get back to the things we love. Mask up, America.
I hear someone go, "Didn't it come from you guys?"
Strangers cough at me.
Move away from me.
Someone spit towards my direction. All the stereotypes that we've worked so hard to break are just going to be reversed. And I won't let that happen.
We all have to play our part.
I donate my plasma.
I've been making masks.
We deserve respect as much as everybody else.
I'm a firefighter, not a virus.
I'm a mask maker, not a virus.
I'm a nurse.
I'm a delivery woman, chef, a neighbor, artist,
Bus driver.
I'm a doctor.
Fight the virus. Fight the virus.
Hello and welcome to this EPS Information Update. I'm Craig Bernbach. As we begin to bring more students back into school buildings for in-person learning, we want to revisit what's being done to make our schools as safe as possible for the return of students, staff, and visitors. Our approach is being guided by the best available science and direction from state education leaders and state and local health departments.
We're taking guidance from state and local health and education officials, but we can and are going further than the recommendations to take care of our students and staff in our schools.
So what will students, staff, and visitors experience when they enter our schools? Well, all Evergreen Public School staff are required to take a training course on COVID-19 infection prevention. COVID captains, as they've been nicknamed, have visited every one of our schools to help make sure schools are as safe as possible.
We walk through every school with an eye on social distancing, the personal protective equipment we would need, and how our custodial staff would need to conduct enhanced cleaning procedures.
The district purchased masks and other personal protective equipment and cleaning supplies. Our maintenance staff is working tirelessly to make sure our HVAC systems are in proper working order, have the latest filters, and have increased outdoor air ventilation as much as possible. As students and staff come to school each day, they or their parents will have to submit a daily attestation through their Skyward account that they're not showing any signs of illness and have not been in close contact with someone who has a confirmed or suspected case of COVID-19 infection. Students or whose parents don't or forget to submit the certification will have to go through a health screening, including a temperature check, completed by a school employee. If students pass the health screening, they will be allowed to return to class, but only after their parent or guardian has been contacted. So what will it be like when students enter school? Of course, any person entering an Evergreen Public Schools facilities building is required to correctly wear a face covering that is consistent with health department rules, over the mouth and over the nose. In front offices and other student interaction offices, there are plexiglass barriers like you may have seen at your local grocery store. In all of our schools, from classrooms to auditoriums and more, there will be social distancing requirements, keeping students and staff 6 feet apart. Our analysis has shown that 12 to 15 students can sit 6 feet apart and still meet social distancing guidelines in most of our classrooms. For students who must meet with specialists or who have one-on-one aides, social distancing will be maintained as much as possible, depending on the student's specific physical or learning needs. Our custodial contractor, ABM, is using a comprehensive cleaning program using approved but less toxic products to help control the spread of COVID-19. In addition to the normal cleaning routine, ABM will perform enhanced cleaning on common high-touch surfaces like doorknobs, light switches, and handrails. Teachers will limit the use of shared hands-on teaching materials, and classrooms will have disinfecting wipes available for the occasional cleaning of manipulatives, toys, and equipment. Keep in mind that some shared equipment like computer lab keyboards, musical instruments, or cameras can be damaged by cleaning solutions. In those instances, students will need to follow a hand washing strategy before they use that equipment, which is always, of course, a good idea. When it comes to recess, students will need to wear masks while they play outside and maintain social distancing. There will be playground monitors, helping make sure kids are playing as safely as possible. Students will be asked to wash their hands or use hand sanitizer after being outside on the playground. When it comes to meals, our food service provider, Chartwells, will be preparing prepackaged grab-and-go breakfast and lunch that elementary school students will eat in their classrooms. Middle and high school students will have a variety of locations available to eat their meals depending on the school. Of course, students will be allowed to remove their masks to eat, but must keep them on while packing and unpacking their meals and must maintain social distancing during their meal times. Each school has a designated social distancing team, typically led by the school principal.
Our job is going to be to make sure that students and staff follow the guidelines. Social distancing, proper use of face coverings, frequent hand washing, proper cleaning procedures, and traffic flow. Basically, how do we get students and staff safely in and out of our buildings?
We also want to mention that there are updated procedures for getting students safely to and from school.
Since the spring, we've been working with transportation experts to develop new policies and procedures to enhance the safety for all our students on our school buses.
That means, again, that masks will be worn properly on buses, enhanced cleaning procedures for buses, and assigned seating arrangements will fit with social distancing requirements. A big question on everyone's mind is what happens if a student or staff member is exposed to the coronavirus at school or outside of school. We have thorough quarantine and screening protocols spelled out in guidelines that were prepared in consultation with our district health staff and the state and local health departments. These guidelines cover the length of time a student or staff member must quarantine away from school if they are positive, have been exposed, or are showing symptoms, contact tracing procedures, and how we will notify other students or staff members who are considered a close contact according to public health guidelines. For more specifics on these guidelines and other information, please go to our Returning to School page on our website. Now, we know that this is a lot to take in, and it's certainly not all we're doing, but we wanted to give you a look at what's being done as we bring students back into the school buildings under the guidance of state and local health leaders. For Evergreen Public Schools, I'm Craig Bernbach. Here's a look at how you can keep up to date with Evergreen Public Schools on social media. Check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/EvergreenPS. Follow us on Twitter at EvergreenPS. Our Instagram account is Evergreen_public_schools. And check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/EvergreenSchools.
Are we back? We want to welcome everybody back here to the second half of Heritage and Evergreen here. We've got a 0-0 score during the little warm-up period here, as I don't know if everybody knows here, but they have the official time to actually talk about their first half of play, and then they ultimately give each team another 2 minutes to kind of warm up and get everybody warm again and ready to play this second half. So while we have that time, Aaron, Ryan, let's talk a little bit about the fact that what the first 2 quarters kind of looked like.
Well, it really looked like some little yardage gain here and turn the ball over on downs, and then it came back the other way. It was a little bit of a yardage gain here and turnover on downs. There wasn't a whole lot that went on offensively in that first half.
Wasn't. I mean, there's 2 plays that are notable on either side of the ball. Andre Cowley, had a very good run.
He did.
That we thought was going to be a momentum changer for them, and they bogged down. And then the nice catch by Fife from Wooden on the slant route that he got 25-plus yards out of, we thought was going to be a momentum creator for them, and they obviously bogged down. So we start this second half of play with both teams looking to figure out a way to finish.
Yeah, and from the Heritage side of the football, they saw an injury to Isaac Washington, who started the game at quarterback. You see him there on the screen right there. It looks like coach has talked to him. Maybe he's trying to see if he can go. So they had a quarterback change in the middle of the first half. That certainly messes with the flow of your offense a little bit.
Yeah.
And Evergreen just couldn't seem to get a whole lot going offensively. J.J. Wooden didn't have a whole lot of pass protection in that first half. And so hopefully they're able to tighten that up, and we see a little bit more offensive power from both sides as this game finishes.
Yeah, I'm sure they had to talk about who they had to match up with Jack Warren, big number 88, the defensive end for Heritage, who was a force to be reckoned with that in that first half. So if they can kind of get him at least slowed down, then J.J. Wooden might be able to get some passes down the field to his main guy. It seems to be Jalen Fife, and they can probably get have an opportunity to get some points on the board. Have it off the kickoff. It's going to get picked up right at about the 20. He's going to take that down to the 45. He makes it to the 45, and he is going to get run out of bounds right at about the 50-yard line. We'll see where the official kind of stops, and it looks like he's going to stop right there inside of Heritage Field, right there on the 49-yard line. So we'll take it there, 1st and 10 from the 49.
Yeah, that was a good, solid return by Jonathan Landry. We haven't called his name too much, a whole lot tonight. Last week he had a very good game. Couple real big plays last week, and scored a few touchdowns last week as well. So we'll see how Evergreen starts off this offensive drive to start off the second half.
Well, Evergreen's always been known to have some really athletic, skilled players on their team. And it has always been dangerous once those guys got into open field. And if J.J. Wooden can get the ball to them in open field, then we might see some scores on the board here.
For sure.
All right, so it looks like there was a penalty. I didn't actually see what happened. But they walked off another 10 yards. So maybe the deal was because it was kind of close as to how many times he got hit once he got out of bounds on the far side of the field.
Yeah.
But I don't remember seeing a flag.
I didn't see a flag either.
But he went out at about the 49, and now they just marched off another 15. So it might have been some unnecessary roughness out there that gives them even better field position. But if it's anything like the first half, this doesn't really mean much. Hopefully, they've got something to figure out.
No, I mean, Evergreen has started multiple drives in this area of the field and haven't been able to produce offensively for that reason right there.
Exactly. I mean, it looks like they had 4 people take off the ball, so it looks like the center didn't know the count on that one.
Yeah, that's the one where you're Evergreen and you ask the official who was offsides, and he turns around and he says, all y'all.
The center was. You need to look at your center on that one. So they get 15 initially, and then they give 5 of it back. Brings up 1st down and 15. A handoff here. This is Fife. He steps up the field hard, tries to kick it back to the outside, and he'll make it to, it looks like about the 46-yard line before he's taken down. So not quite back to the original line of scrimmage, bringing up 2nd down and 11. Wooden set up. Got a man in motion. He's going to hand this one off. Trying to get to the outside. Breaks the first tackle. Not able to get through the second. And it looks like he is going to lose a yard on this. Bring up third down and now 12.
Yeah, Landry there just never was able to find a lane to cut upfield.
No, not at all. Reynolds did a good job of pushing him out when he was trying to find that edge, and then he was able to get some help from his buddies out there, catch him behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 12. Wooden drops back now, looking for somebody across the middle of the field, fakes it. Now he's on the run. He is going to make it back to the original line of scrimmage before he is stopped, bringing up 4th down and 10. We want to welcome everybody back here to the second half of the game. This is EPS Sports. Rodney Lawrence, Ryan Vassbinder here to bring you Clark County High School football on a Friday night. I want to welcome you on Comcast Channel 28 and 328 for the HD. Just to let you know, we will also be televising a doubleheader here tonight. Next game being Union Titans and the Mountain View Thunder. That game will be on Comcast Channel 29. Both games also on the Evergreen YouTube channel. Pass out, trying to get the receiver, the intended receiver on that play. That is Landry. Not able to get that ball to him before he runs out of bounds. So looking real similar to the first half, and Evergreen's going to turn the ball over on downs. Heritage will take the ball over, 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. So kind of seeing who is showing up for quarterback in this first half, and it looks like it is going to be Isaac Washington is back at quarterback. Bowles at the end. They're going to hand it to Bowles. Bowles looking for something up the middle. He's going to spin his way to the 41-yard line. Get 6 out of that, bring it up 2nd and 4.
I've really enjoyed watching Bowles run the football tonight. He's not a big kid by any means, but he's quick and he's not afraid to get in and take a hit.
He sure isn't. He's only a sophomore. Bowles once again up the middle. They're going to give him the 41-yard line, but I do see a flag on the play, so we'll see where that is. Looks like there was some movement on the Heritage side of the ball. Back him up there, and then that'll replay the 2nd down and 2nd and 9. I'm sorry, 3rd down. 3rd down and 9. Cowley's going to check into the game. Number 24, Lewis, checks out. And here comes the senior Reynolds, who checks in. Looks like he came in with the play. Two running back set. Bowles comes in behind Cowley, tries to bounce that to the outside. There is no room on the outside there. I do want to acknowledge the fact that on that play, Cowley played fullback, and he came in there and made real good contact with one of the backers. So if Bowles was able to stay inside with him, he might have been able to bounce that out once he got up to the 2nd level.
It's a good call out.
.809 left to play in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 9. Heritage trying to find some success in their first series of the 2nd half. Two running backs in the backfield. Handoff again. Bolt. It looks like he is going to get about 3 yards out of that, bringing him to the 39-yard line. Not enough for them to risk it, and they're going to go ahead and punt this one away. The senior Bradley Colt, the kicker. Catches this on a one-hopper. Line drive this time, but it is one of his better kicks as far as distance is concerned, as that one does roll all the way down past the 30 and out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. So the best kick of the night. And Evergreen is going to take the ball over now in their own territory, first down in 10.
Yeah, and after both sides has had an opportunity for an offensive possession in the second half, we're seeing a lot like we saw in the first half. Not a whole lot offensively. Heritage, I think Heritage has shown that they don't have a real strong passing game at this point. They've ran the ball all night long, and that's allowing Evergreen to really just stack the box.
Yeah, sure
which is going to make it progressively more difficult as this game goes along if they can't spread that defense out a little bit. Evergreen's got a better opportunity because they do have some passing options out there.
Yeah, they do. They have played the more balanced game of the two teams. Big quarterback's going to pull this one out and take this one for himself. He is going to get 11 yards out of it, and that's going to be enough to move the chains. They have him listed as 6'4", 210 pounds, so he's a pretty big guy out there to kind of bring down after he has had a couple of yards to get, head start on you.
Yeah.
Brings him back to the line of scrimmage. We've got trips here at the bottom of the screen. Fakes it, play action, quick slant pass to Fife in the middle of the field. Another great catch and run by that young man, Jalen Fife. That's the second time we've seen that. Jalen a little animated about that first down. Got to be careful in high school football. They don't necessarily like that kind of celebrating. They don't think they flagged him then, but I heard the coach tell him to, dial that one down a little bit. I understand the excitement, but let's keep everything in perspective. Man in motion. Jackson O'Shea takes a late hit. Nice little pop at the end of that run, but he's going to get a couple out of that. Three yards, brings up 2nd and 7. Sets him up, drops back, looking for a receiver, kind of rolls out, finds a man right there on the edge, but he's going to step out of bounds. That's Condi. Condi does a good job there, realizes that his quarterback's in a little bit of trouble, doesn't bail on his route and just kind of backpedals, letting him know, hey, I'm here for you. Wasn't able to see him and get him out there in the flat and bring up a 3rd down and 1, which has been their best 3rd down situation this entire game.
Yeah, it certainly has. I mean, here they've got multiple options. They could throw a little dump screen pass. But with the size of J.J. Wooden and the size that he has, I mean, he has the option to go ahead and keep that too. I mean, he's shown he's able to run the football. He's been successful at doing so after that first quarter, really, of at least getting a few every time he carries the ball. So Evergreen certainly has an opportunity to move the chains here.
Well, they've had him under center once. We've already seen that.
Right.
On a similar situation as far as yardage is concerned, and he was able to convert for him. We'll see what they come up this time. Heritage has spent their first timeout of 3 here in the second half. Evergreen didn't use any timeouts the first half, I don't believe.
Or they used one.
Yes, you are correct. They did
used
use
one.
All right, both teams right there at the line of scrimmage. Wooden in the shotgun. Running back sits off the far side. Fakes it to Jackson. He's going to keep this one himself, and he is going to get exactly what he needs. He'll run out of bounds at about the 34-yard line, and that'll be plenty enough to move the chains. First down and 10, Evergreen. Evergreen Plainman's on the sideline, still practicing social distancing over there. Wooden drops back, has a guy in the middle. Great snag as he brings that down on the 21-yard line. Landry, the receiver, able to pull that one down in a crowd. Wooden put that on a rope.
He really did. It was a little high, but Landry did a great job of going up and able to hold on to it as he brings it down.
Sure did. First down and 10 now on the 21. Landry in motion. Wooden drops back again, has a man open in the end zone, and he makes the catch for the touchdown. Evergreen goes up 6-0, and that is Condi, Tewan Condi. On a streak route right up the seam of the field, gets behind the safeties and brings that in right before he runs out of the back of the end zone. Nice little touch pass there by Wooden to get that down on top of him like that before he runs out of the back.
Absolutely, and that's really, it might be the second time tonight that we've seen Wooden's arm strength and his ability to be accurate with those types of passes.
All right, so Evergreen, there we go. They're going to come set up now for the extra point. Looks like their kicker does not use a tee, and he's going to kick this one straight off the turf. Ball's planted, and it's blocked. So that's going to keep the score at 6-0, but Evergreen able to actually finish here on a big play, 21 yards out for the touchdown. Wooden and Condi connection for 6 points as Evergreen goes on top with 4:51 left to play in the third quarter.
Yeah, that was certainly the best offensive series that we've seen on both sides today.
Yeah.
As it breaks the deadlock from 0. You know, I think you were able to see in that last possession where J.J. Wooden has felt a little bit more comfortable than he did earlier in the game, and you know, he's able to take his time, find his receivers, and we even saw him in a few plays previous to that touchdown that he was taking that little bit of extra time and letting those plays develop.
Yeah, he sure was. Del Angel handling kicking responsibilities. Heritage, deepest man, standing on about the 11-yard line. And here's the kick. And he catches it right at about the 31-yard line. It looks like he may have got his foot on the line, on the out-of-bounds line. That's Reynolds there, thinking he was going to try to do something a little extra, catch somebody off guard, just put his foot on that out-of-bounds line and stop the action right there. So it'll be first down and 10 from the 31-yard line. Looks like they got the power package in there. Here comes Andre Cowley. I also see tight end Jack Warren in the game. Fakes it to Callie. The quarterback's going to follow in behind him. He is not going to get any yard. Well, it looks like they will give him a yard. Credit that takedown there, the Evergreen linebacker. The Evergreen defensive line has done very good this game. They have not let a whole lot of stuff get by them.
No, they really haven't. And I was taking a look, and Gary McCauley, the middle linebacker there, has had another hand in that stop, and he's been in the mix in most of these stops. When they're coming up through the middle, he's had a really good game tonight.
Handoff, inside handoff. There once again, an Evergreen linesman there to make the stop. Them definitely trying to feel that, and that is Josiah. How do you pronounce his last name? I don't want to mess that up. KU?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I'll just stick with Josiah. I know I said that right. Heritage gets to the line of scrimmage. Two-back setup. Roll out, drop. Pass caught right there on the 35, and he's going to get run out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Nice catch and run there by Caleb Lemire. And that will be enough to move the chains. Lemire in motion. They're going to hand this straight up the gut to Cowley. Cowley, their power back. It's going to explode past the 45 and get down to, oh, it looks like the 47-yard line. Bring up second down and 4. Tight formation here, wings on either side. Lemire in motion. Another handoff to the big guy. He is going to get across the 50-yard line. They're going to have him down just shy of the first down on the 49. Third down and 1. Both offenses showing a lot more enthusiasm, if you will, about the series they're in. A 3rd and 1 situation, something that these guys hadn't come across either in the first half. Time the quarterback pulls it out and decides to keep it. A nice stiff arm, but he is not going to make it as he gets run out of bounds at the 50-yard line. Great defense, not allowing Isaac Washington to find the edge. Let's see ultimately where they're going to have him at. He actually looks like he lost a yard, and he'll be back at midfield, 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, that was a great pursuit by Evergreen's defense to not allow him to get past that line of scrimmage and earn the first down there.
Alex Anderson checks into the game. Looks like Alex is going to come into the game with the play. Pistol formation, wingbacks. Lemire in motion. They're going to give it to Crawley right up the gut. He is going to get enough to move the chains. 4th and 2, and he got 3 out of the deal. First down and 10. in Evergreen territory. Just under a minute and a half left to play in the third quarter. Evergreen on top, 6-0. Heritage showing momentum here in the third quarter. Two-back set in the backfield. Slot at the bottom of the bottom of your screen. Quarterback's going to keep this one. Isaiah Johnson, Washington, nice run there. He's going to get about 3 yards on that. Landry steps up to make that tackle, stopping him for a small gain of only 3 yards. 2nd and 7. Two-back set, man in motion. They're going to give that to the big guy up the middle again. This time, nothing for him right there as that middle linebacker once again stacks everything up. Gary McCulley having a heck of a game. Zero gain on that play, and it's going to bring up 3rd down. And that is going to end our third quarter of play here. Evergreen on top 6-0. We are at McKenzie Stadium tonight, you guys. Clark County football. This is EPS Sports. Rodney Lawrence, Ryan Vassbinder here tonight to bring you some great high school football on a Friday night. Stands look thin, but I'm hoping that everybody is able to enjoy the game either on the local station, the local Comcast station, channel 28, or able to log into the YouTube channel, and that is the Evergreen School District channel. Hit the Stream Live button, and it can enjoy some high school football with us here at Clark County tonight. Well, Ryan, third quarter looked a whole lot better than the first two. Evergreen able to put some points on the board.
Yeah, they certainly were. You know, like I said, after that scoring drive, J.J. Wooden looks a lot more comfortable out there coming out in the second half. He's made a couple more smarter decisions than what he did, and I think it's attributed to the time that he's had to sit in the pocket and let plays develop. He's had more time in the second half than what he did in the first half.
Yeah, he did. Heritage offense playing better as well in this third quarter. Unfortunately, they have not been able to capitalize or finish, if you will, and putting these points on the scoreboard.
No, and I think something that would really help Heritage out is if they're able to get any type of passing game going, right? Even if it's, you know, a little 5-yard out pass or something to help spread this defense out. Because as you can see, Evergreen's stacked in the box. I mean, their safety is playing, you know, at the first down marker.
Bowles the ball carrier on that. It will bring up 4th down. He'll get a couple out of that. It's going to bring up 4th down, and it looks like 3 to go. The coaching staff feels like they're in 4-down territory as Caleb Lemire checks back into the game. Trips receiver to the far side. Quarterback decides to keep this himself, and he is not going to get, it's going to be close. That far referee shows that it might be worth measuring, but we'll see. Evergreen defense is trying to signal that they did not get it, but we'll see what's going to go on here. See where the ball's ultimately going to get spotted.
And they did call it a first down.
Oh, you just eyeballed that one, huh? Well, the official here is going to make sure everything's set right. They needed to get just on the other side of the 36-yard line. And by the placement of the ball, it looks like they just did by the nose of the ball. So we'll see what's going on here. The line judge just kind of eyeballed it and said that it was a first down. We'll see what's going on here. And the white hat is going to fall on the side of that judge's decision, and that is a first down and 10 for the Heritage Timberwolves. Got wingbacks. Brody in motion. He's going to hand it off to Cowley. Cowley is going to get across the 35. Going to bring up second down and 8. Big time opportunity here for Heritage. Cowley, lone receiver. Brody in motion. Run the same play back at him. Going to get about 2 yards out of this one, and we'll bring up third down and 6. So they ran the same play back to back. 2 yards out of each one of them. They got a little misdirection going, so we'll see here. They keep running Brody Parker in motion and then just kind of handing the ball off to Cowley up the gut. We'll see if they're able to take advantage of these guys looking inside and catch them outside and get a good run on them. Brody Parker able to find the edge. Quarterback steps back now looking to throw it. Realizes nobody's open and decides to keep it himself. It looks like he does get back to the line of scrimmage, and that is about it. That's going to bring up fourth down. Nine minutes left in the fourth quarter. Desperately needing a score. This is definitely four-down territory.
No, it certainly is, and Heritage has seemed to lost the little bit of momentum they had coming out at the start of this drive. You know, they've been able to move the chains a little bit, but these last couple plays really just haven't amounted it to much.
No, you're correct. They have not. Lemire and Parker are the wings. Parker goes into motion. Washington drops back, looking for his receiver. He makes the catch and the touchdown as he takes the ball in. That is going to be Alex Anderson, the sophomore receiver, on a deep route by Isaac Washington for the touchdown.
And that's something we haven't seen all night from Heritage. Is
no,
them
we
throwing
sure
the
have
ball
not. We sure have
for
not.
any sort of length.
All right, so with 8:32 left in the fourth quarter, Heritage able to tie the game up, this play being the most crucial of the entire night.
Absolutely.
And we've got the whistle blown, number 8. Pablo Barbosa Sanchez is the kicker, number 8. Pressure is definitely on his shoulders here on this one.
It certainly is. You know, he just, after that penalty, he's a half yard closer, so we'll see.
Nice pass there by Isaac Washington to drop that one in on him. We've got a kick, and that is going to be not blocked, but just not made. So the score remains tied at 6-6. With 8:32 left to play in the game, he just didn't get under that one. I mean, that was a line drive.
Yep, he hit right through the middle of the football.
Yeah. So a little excitement here on both sides of the field for either one of these teams here in the second half of play, as we were able to get some points on the board. We got a 6-6 ball game.
Yeah, and I mean, with that big pass by Isaac Washington, hopefully that gives them a little bit of confidence going into the remainder of this game. Opens up that passing game a little bit more for Heritage and spreads that Evergreen defense out. You can tell that Evergreen certainly wasn't expecting that pass.
No.
As Heritage really haven't passed the ball at all tonight.
And to catch them sleep like that, I mean, the linebackers and the DBs are not going to be so quick to come up and make tackles 3-4 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Right.
After something like that happens, which is could favor Heritage here in these last minutes of the fourth quarter. Pooch kick there is a fair catch. That is Dominic Bolds for Evergreen, who fair caught that one. Evergreen will take over on the 37-yard line. All right, so now it's going to be about who wants it more. We've got 1:30 left to play in this game. Both teams have shown some good series and the ability to finish here in the second half. Let's see who can stick with that and put some more points on the board here. Wood now fakes the handoff, takes it on his own on the backside, and he is going to get a nice little 6-yard run out of that, and he'll get run out of bounds, stopping the clock at 8:26. Second down and 4.
After that Heritage score, what I'm really hoping to see is a little bit more urgency out of both teams, right, when they're holding the ball offensively.
Yeah, most definitely. Trips at the bottom. The handoff. O'Shea looking for some yardage. Nice little run as he bounces off defenders here, gets across midfield, moves the chains, first down and 10. Evergreen, everybody looking to the sidelines for the next play. Evergreen does not huddle. True spread offensive style where everybody just kind of stays kind of hanging around until they get the play. Trips, fly sweep here, hands the ball off, looking to get upfield, and he is going to, we got a flag here. I don't know if this is going to be against the Evergreen offensive line there, but number 70 and number 79 definitely took one of their tackles out. We'll see what's going on and see what the call actually is. And it looks like they got him on a clip chop block type situation. They high load him is probably ultimately what happened there. And that's unfortunate because that's going to bring him back. A nice little clip. Yeah, it's a 15-yarder. So that's going to make it now first down and 25. Quarterback drops back, looking for a receiver. Looks for his guy Fife out on the sidelines, unable to get that ball out to him, and hits the turf right in front of him. Receiver was doing the right thing. He did kind of bend that route and tried to come back towards the quarterback, which is something you want to do when you see your quarterback kind of scrambling for his life. He just unable to get that ball down the field out there to him. Wooden again drops back. We got us a bubble screen here. Fife catches the ball in the middle. He's going to go all the way across field, pick up some blockers, and get down that sideline on the far side before he's knocked out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Close to a first down. We'll see ultimately where the referees spot the ball, but that's a pretty good play. Jalen Fife slow to get up, limping. We'll see what's happening now here. A little frustration as he throws his helmet on the carpet.
It was a great run by Fight.
Sure was. Bolds checks in for him. Looks like he's got some trainers seeing to his well-being. Third and 5. Wooden delays and tries to keep this one himself. He is not going to go anywhere as he's drugged down by the outside guy on the far side of the field. Great job. That's number 28. It's hard to see that number out there on the field. We'll give him his credit. Wyatt Scott, senior. Doesn't allow him to get any yard, and they'll bring up 4th and 5. Quarterback drops back again. He has a man in the middle. And this one, they're going to say, looks like it may have skipped. And that's what their officials are saying as well, that they skipped it to him. So Evergreen's going to turn the ball over on downs. Heritage ball, 1st down and 10.
Yeah, that's certainly the right call. That's certainly the right call by the officials. Conde did a great job of trying to sell it, but the officials got that one right, and it's going to be a turnover on downs.
Wooden just kind of skip that one to him right there in front. Heritage, 2 timeouts left. Skyview, I mean, it's not Skyview. Where am I getting that name from? And Evergreen still has all 3 of theirs. In motion again, fly sweep. He's going to step upfield with that and just going to refuse to go down. He's going to drag guys over across midfield for a big run. Keaton Bold. Second and 1. Clock continues to run. And they're going to give the ball right up the gut to Adrian Cowley. Andre Cowley. Andre's going to move the chains. 1st down and 10. The 42-yard line. Alex Anderson checks back into the game. Parker in motion, drops back again. Isaac trying to do the same thing. This time he is well covered. Tried to go back to the well on that one. John Simon right there on top of him this time, not allowing him to get to that pass. That incomplete pass does stop the clock at 5:26 left to play. 2nd and 10. Cowley once again, nice strong run as he blows his way past the 35-yard line. Is going to get put down right there on the 34. Nice 8-yard run there. Confusion with the chains down there. We'll see what that's. There we go. 3rd down and 2. Wings. Parker in motion. This time Washington decides to keep that. He's going to cut up field as he gets cut down across the 30, but it is going to be enough to move the chains. 1st down and 10 from the 29. Referee signals for the chain gang to move the chains. Clock continues to run. Just under 5 minutes left to play in the game. Heritage just outside the red zone. Motion, this time hands it off. Tries to spin out of it, but Keaton Bowles has nowhere to go on that play. As he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is about all.
Yeah, that almost looked like it was a direct snap to Bowles as he was motioning.
It looked a little awkward.
It certainly did. I don't know if the timing was off or if that's how that play is designed, but I don't think it was ultimately what they wanted to accomplish.
Brody in motion, fakes it off. Looks like that's a multiple misdirection. Isaac keeps that at the last minute. Oh, there's 2-3 fakes into that one. I don't know what was going on there, but that's one of those plays where the offensive line has got to get a good push.
They certainly do in order to give the time.
Yeah, because that is a big-time misdirection play with an inside handoff ultimately trying to be accomplished. Which the only school down here that I've actually seen perfect that is Mountain View.
Yeah.
That said, it's going to bring up 3rd down and 8. Wing formation. And it looks like this time, receiver out there on the end, Mr. Anderson, flinched out there. That will back them up 5. Making it 3rd and 13. Game clock becoming the enemy slowly for both teams. Takes the snap. He's going to hand this one off. He's going to get a couple of yards there out of that. Wyatt Scott getting some time at running back. 4th down and 8. Reynolds comes into the game with the play.
This is a big down for Heritage. You certainly don't want to turn the ball over here with 2 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
No, you sure don't. You sure don't. You want to try to get some kind of points on the board here and pretty much solidify this game if they are able to score. And we have got a timeout called here for Evergreen. So both teams realizing the importance of this one play. Evergreen wanting to make sure that they have everything taken into consideration on this play. We'll see what Heritage offensive coordinator comes up with. This is when the chess match begins here.
It certainly is, especially when you spent the whole game running the football.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What do? You had one really good pass that resulted in a touchdown, but you also ran the same play during this current series where the ball wasn't even close to the receiver. So you don't have a natural quarterback for Heritage. You've got somebody who typically catches and runs the ball.
Mm-hmm.
calling the shots. And so, what do you do? What does everybody feel comfortable with? And ultimately, you got to go with your most confident decision and what your players say.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. I do see Andre Cowley, who is back in the game, and is their power and strength. We'll see. I mean, he's had one big run today of 8 yards plus.
Mm-hmm.
With him in the game, you got to kind of think about him. And they're going to come out in the twin set, pistol formation. Washington drops back, looking for somebody, decides going to throw across field. Goes up and comes down with that, and that ball is going to hit the turf. The intended receiver was Caleb Lemire.
There was just a whole lot of time for that ball to be in the air.
Yeah, it sure was. He's throwing that one across field. John Landry, the DB out there to knock that one down. That would have had to have been a spectacular catch right there.
It really would have. So now Evergreen takes control of the football with 1:48 left. Evergreen has certainly been more successful passing the football tonight than Heritage.
They have.
They were successful last week, and so I think this really comes down to J.J. Wooden and what can he do tonight. He certainly played in big games. He's played in state championship games over in Oregon for Lake Oswego, and so he's been in this moment before.
Yeah. So here, he's going to drop back, looking for somebody to get that ball to. Oh, that one sails and gets away from him, as he's not able to bring that in. Condi, the intended receiver, on a crossing route. And that ball looks like it just sailed on him.
It did.
Almost a pick.
Yeah, Isha Reynolds almost was able to come up with that.
Yeah, he sure was. All right, that will stop the clock at 1:42 left to play. And this time he has got Fight. Fight is able to bring that one in on a big catch that's going to bring them down to the, what is that, the 33-yard line. Hurry up and get down there. The clock will start running again once the chain gang gets down there and gets reset. The chain gang doesn't seem to have a sense of urgency, so they're kind of helping the situation out over there. We got Trips on the far side. A handoff here now. Now it turns that ball upfield. He's going to get stopped right at the 25-yard line, but now we've got a flag. We'll see what happens here. All right, as these referees try to figure out what's going on here. And they're going to call a personal foul targeting against Heritage. Oh my goodness, that is a big foul this late in the game. Jackson O'Shea, the running back on that, takes a pop right at the 25-yard line.
That's a big penalty to take if you're Heritage.
It sure is. It sure is. That penalty is going to take them down inside the 15-yard line with a fresh set of downs.
And Evergreen still does have 2 timeouts left tonight.
All right, the official winds the clock. Another handoff to Jackson. And he is going to get down inside the 10 and get pulled down at about the 7-yard line. Clock continuing to run. Evergreen holding on to those timeouts as long as they can. Wooden again lines them up. Jackson right there. Jackson's going to get the ball again, turns it around, and Jackson is going to get in for the touchdown with 38 seconds left to play in the game. Jackson O'Shea takes the ball from the 7-yard line and gets across to give Evergreen the lead once again very late in this game.
Yeah, Jackson O'Shea tonight has shown that he's able to get 3, 4, 5 yards at a time running up and through the middle, and he was able to find a hole there and get 7 for the score.
He sure was. So Evergreen able to put some additional points on the board to give him the go-ahead score here off a targeting call. Gonna hand the ball off again, and he is able to get in for the 2-point conversion to make the ball game 14-6. And they're going to say that his knee was down and he did not get in. So Evergreen on top 12-6 with 38 seconds left to play in this game. Heritage gets called with a big penalty. A targeting penalty that pretty much puts Evergreen right there inside the 15-yard line with 4 fresh downs. And they were able to punch that one in with Mr. Jackson O'Shea.
Yeah, when Heritage receives this ball, we'll see what kind of offensive formation they come out with. They really haven't had any big plays. They had one pretty large pass that ended up in their score, in their touchdown. But other than that, everything has been kept on the ground between the tackles for the most part. And that's certainly going to have to change with short time on the clock.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. All right, Heritage definitely, a whole lot has been done with 38 seconds left to play. So we'll see here if Heritage is able to put together some plays and make something happen here and at least get an opportunity to win this game. Del Angel to kick the ball off. Heritage's deep man standing on the 15. And they're going to kick a short one here. And Condi almost let that one get away from him. But with that short kick, Heritage is going to get the ball in some pretty decent field position. First down and 10 from the 36-yard line. Heritage, 2 timeouts left, 38 seconds left to play. Washington steps back again, makes the catch. Big catch there made by the receiver as he's able to catch that one and get out of bounds and stop the clock. Aiden Miller, number 3. Evergreen Plainsman call a timeout. He had 2 receivers right there.
He did.
Anderson was also there, kind of standing there in the way. I don't know if one was supposed to clear or they were flooding the area or not, but Miller came down with that one and was able to get some good yardage out there and bring up a second down and very short.
Yeah, most importantly, he was able to get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Mm-hmm. So they don't have to use their timeouts, at least not right now.
Yeah, Evergreen did go ahead and call this timeout, and you can imagine that coach is saying, don't let anybody behind you. Keep everything in front. We've got short time.
And if you can, don't let them get out of bounds.
Right.
Make them use their timeouts as well. Heritage comes to the line of scrimmage. Single running back, 4 receivers. Washington drops back. He's looking for a receiver on the corner, and he's able to make the catch and get out of bounds. Aiden Miller, second big catch. Enough to move the chains. He's going to get down to the 44-yard line and gets out of bounds, stopping the clock with 28 seconds left to go. Both situations, Isaac Johnson is thrown into the boundary, the short side of the field here. Four receivers once again. Drops back. Time he's going to roll to the far side of the field. This time he's going to take it off. He's going to get out of bounds, and that's what he does. And that's going to stop the clock with 20 seconds left. Smart move by the quarterback, realizing there's nobody out there. And his best bet is to get some yards and get out of bounds. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 6. Anderson comes back into the game. Time Anderson lined up down here at the bottom of your screen on the numbers. Jackson rolls to the far side, looks for his receiver, not able to make the completion. Intended receiver on that was Bradley Culp, number 5. Heritage uses one of their timeouts. Evergreen secondary doing a pretty good job here, keeping these guys covered up and not letting anything happen behind them.
Right. They're giving them the sideline to prevent anything big, which at this point in the game is certainly important. You know, while Isaac Washington has been able to go ahead and complete a few passes, which we haven't seen really at all this game.
Yeah.
You know, they've been for short gains. One has been for a first down, which was good. But they need to move the ball 40 yards in the last 16 seconds of this game.
Yeah. I mean, it makes you wonder if they'd have thrown a couple of more of those earlier in the game, if we might have saw something a little different.
Right, for sure.
Know? Both teams at the line of scrimmage here. We've got 16 seconds left to play. Evergreen on top by a score. Heritage trying to tie this game up with an opportunity to win. Isaac drops back, spins out of it, and this time he is going to take the sack and is going to lose some yardage. It's going to take him back to midfield, and that is pretty much, well, that will, Heritage calls, do believe that is their final timeout, and that stops the clock with 8 seconds left. But I tell you what, you got to give a lot of credit to that Evergreen defensive line there. They were in the backfield right now. It didn't give Isaac much time to do anything.
No.
You know, and he was looking to go downfield.
Yeah, he certainly was, and he just didn't have the time to find his target. So now you're in a situation where it's 4th down with 8 seconds remaining. You don't have any more timeouts.
No, you don't.
You really only have one.
This is it.
One chance at this point.
This is the play right here, right? Big number 79's name's not on the roster. I wanted to give him some credit for that sack. We'll just have to use his name. But he is the reason. Final play of the game here. Heritage shows up in a trips formation. Lets this ball go, and it is going to get almost intercepted on the last play of the game. The clock runs out as Isaac Washington throws that last pass, last-ditch effort to try to get some points on the board. Not able to do so. Great defensive stance there by the Evergreen Plainsmen to get that ball back on the turf as this clock zeroes out. So with that being said, Evergreen able to pull this game out with the big score late in the game to go ahead by a score to take the win 12-6 over Heritage. And with the COVID situation, it's just going to be a hand wave, and we're not going to see the traditional down the 50-yard line and everybody shake hands and things of that nature. But, there'll be a couple of them to get in there. But for the most part, we're going to be under COVID protocol, and everybody is going to keep their safe distance. Just a little bit about this second half, Ryan, before we let these guys go.
Yeah, I think we saw both offenses open up a little bit. We certainly were, the first half was scoreless. We were able to see 3 touchdowns here in the second half. I think you saw, like I said earlier, J.J. Wooden showed to be a little bit more comfortable in the shotgun position in the second half. He took some really big hits in that first half that really kind of shortened his time, and it didn't give him an opportunity to find his targets. Yep,
you are definitely correct. And with that being said, we are going to go ahead and end this broadcast. Hey, don't forget, this is a doubleheader Friday night. Please jump over to channel Comcast 29, and we will be there at 7 o'clock to give you the Union Titans and the Mountain View Thunder game. This is EPS Sports. Rodney Lawrence, Ryan Vassbinder. We'll see you on channel 29 and the YouTube sports channel for the Evergreen School District as well. So thank you very much for joining us tonight, and we'll see you at 7. Good night, and God bless.